Hey everyone, it's your boy Dutchie with a brand new story park. That's right, and it's called Twinkle Hollows. And this park is set somewhere in Northern Europe because that's what I know and that's what I do best. Somewhere I have yet to decide, set between farmlands, pastures, fields, whatever you want to call it, a rural area. And I made this starter map on I think it's called the temperate biome. It has a lake, it has a river, and it's got a lot of farmlands. The eagle-eyed observers here may recognize this from a project that I started right after Planet Coaster 2 came out. It was called Kraftwerk. The game was such a mess at that point that I pretty much, if it were a physical object, I pretty much threw it out of the window. Luckily, it's a digital object, and so I could keep the base map. And now, almost a year after release, I decided to dust it off and rework it a bit, make it a bit better with, the improved tools and possibilities that we have. And I think it is a lovely starter map. I could imagine putting this on the workshop one day when everything is said and done and the whole project has come to an end. But for now, as you can see, there are many plots of lands, and I have to decide where I'm going to build or break ground first. I shouldn't start too small, but I also shouldn't start too big, should I? And I think it should be along the main road. So that would make either this area that I'm hovering over right now an option. You know what? Maybe a good way to see if that's feasible in any way is just by having a smallish roller coaster. Yeah. Okay, so, just to make sure that there's actually room for one or two signature coasters. This could work, but I will be severely limited by both the lake and the bottom. The boundaries of where I'm allowed to build of the map. Then there's the road that cannot be demolished, and then there's the river up north, in case I hadn't mentioned that already. So it's a great expansion area, but I don't think it's going to be the place where I would want to expand or where I want to break ground. Then we've got this little bit here. I think it goes without saying. That's just way too small. Can't do much. Oh, that's, even beyond that, I'm already in the red. No, that won't work. It would be a strange, pointy, triangular shaped park. Not unheard of, not great either. No real room to expand across the river. No. I actually didn't really think this through. Then, okay, so the biggest portion of the map that is pretty much unspoiled would be this part. And now I'm thinking I could either go all the way west, or is that east? Whatever, all the way to the right. I hope you can see my mouse, take here, then along the bushes, and have a nice, neat cutout. That would make sense. That's also kind of how Kraftwerk started. Oh. I hate that you always have to go between the cameras, just so that it doesn't... yeah, could work. Okay. Then there's another quadrant on the other side of the, I don't know, forest, bushes, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, same story, even smaller. Then what do we have? Kind of want to end up with something like, sort of stray boundaries. Not having too many corners and hooks and crannies. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm looking at it right now, am I not? Here, this diagonal line, I hope you can see my mouse. Then a perfectly horizontal line, if you want. and then everything alongside of the river, and then the road. Yeah, I think this is it. So let's see. Now, I suppose that this is where I also take a snapshot or two, right? Just so that I can, I don't know, for forum posts and what have you not, you know. There we are. Maybe one more. One there. This is boring for you, but okay, we'll get on it. I mean, you're watching, this is practically live. I'm not going to do much editing here, you know. Right. And then what does one do? I suppose I would have a bulldozer come in, get rid of the trees, which would be unthinkable in this day and age, but let's assume that this park is somewhere in the early 90s. Right. Getting rid of these. Oh Lord, hold on. And those. And those. And maybe I'll leave the ones along the river for now. I could imagine that that's something that we want to keep as a park. Right, and then I need to add dirt and gravel and soil debris. And what else do I have? Large strata rock. No, I suppose this will do. Boom. So this is, you know, you have to imagine that this is after, I don't know, the bulldozers and the plows and all sorts of machinery I don't know the name of. I wouldn't even be able to tell you in Dutch, let alone in English. Let's just assume they all came by, flattened the whole area, and, you know, Bob's your uncle. All right, let's do a bit smaller here, just for the edges. I wish this were something that we could do just, you know, very fine. Use a ruler and a drawing tool. I would much prefer that over a round sort of, what do you call it? A round brush. Just for the variety, we'll add a little bit of gravel every now and then. Especially here along the river. Here. And a bit all over the place. And with even less pressure or intensity, we'll do a bit of soil debris. Yeah. All right, so there we go. This is something that always missed, or that is always missing, I should say, from any of the maps in Planet Coaster 1 and 2. I just don't want to end up staring at this humongous, extremely intimidating empty map where grass is the default rather than a costly amenity. Lawns and grass, they need a lot of, you know, they need a lot of water, they need a lot of taking care of. And Planet Coaster just, like, you know, Frontier just treats it as if it were the most usual thing in the world, where actually dirt is the most common surface in the world. So there we are. I quite like it. I've got plenty of room for a signature coaster. Yeah, I could work with this. I quite like it. What happens when I use a flat ride? Okay, nothing crazy, nothing. This is a lovely shape, isn't it? I mean, this is not too big. It's not too small. You can have a peripheral railroad around it. Oh, I'm going to use the mini railroad this time. Finally, I never really had a use for it. This one, I love it. It's adorable. Yeah, I think this will do just fine. Let me place another flat ride just for, you know, just to check the size. I never use any of these. I don't even know what they are. Where's that? This one. Is this all? No, it's tower. Right. Discriminator. Yeah, that's good. Also good. Yeah, all right. Decent sized park. Good. I like it. Let's add some fencing. Let's see what we got. Wooden grid fence. Metal fence. I quite like the sound of that. Yeah, all right. You know what would be really nice, and I know someone's working on it, but a line drawing tool for props. Remember, for those of you who played the game, that when that mod came to City Skylines, my goodness, what a change! What a change! Because who really wants to spend so much time placing fences? This is where I will speed up the video a bit. All right, let's see. I quite like it. There we are. And I suppose that at some point there's got to be a way in. Should be right there. I think rough rock will do it, right? Yeah, not quite. Yeah, well, you just gotta imagine that this is somehow the road. Oh no, that's worse. I really miss that from the first Planet Coaster, you know, good asphalt texture. But all right, let's see, and then last but not least, and that will be it for this episode. This is really just to tell you, hey, I'm doing a new park, and I'm just going to do it in a different way than I've done before. And what do we need? I can't find shit in this game. Is that under? I absolutely. Can we just take a moment? I absolutely loathe the fact that I have 3 stop menus. And why is billboard under signs? I mean, fuck my life. Is it that? Yeah. Need a bigger one, but not that big. There we are. That's a TV. No, it's not. Okay. Or is it? Can't see shit. No. Okay, good. There we are. Twinkle Hollow. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Twinkle Hollow. Quite lovely, isn't it? And no, this isn't some AI generated crap, just so you know. This is actually a lovely friend of mine. She is, well, she's the goddaughter of a friend of mine. It's a long story. Her name is Ilona, and she is an absolutely fabulous designer. And she's 13 years old, and she has an extremely bright future ahead of her. You just need to feel sorry for her that Uncle Dutchie is her uncle, but you know, those are the cards she's dealt with. I somehow doubt the structural integrity. Oh my goodness, did you hear that? The structural integrity of all of this, but yeah. It's one of these cases of good enough, isn't it? I know some of you lot would absolutely not mind obsessing for days over this type of thing. But I'm not like all you guys. I'm just not like you guys. So, let's see. I think that is good. Is it peeking through? Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, not exactly hurricane proof, is it? But again, this is in Northern Europe, so we don't really do hurricanes here. Okay. Quite high. I quite hate it that it always sinks into the ground. There we are. Time to take some snapshots for the forum and Bronation. And then the job's done. No, this doesn't do. That's much better, isn't it? Yeah. Don't you like it? I do. Alright everyone, thank you so very much for watching. And next time, we might just have an entrance building and a parking lot. Or not. Bye bye!